All right, well, the start of a weird experience trying to get this package back to my apartment, which was really hard because he was blocking me. I'm just kidding. It was supposed to come on Monday. Here we are on Thursday. I waited Monday all day, nothing. Monday night, they changed the date to Tuesday. That was nice. So then I waited Tuesday at the appropriate time, 2 to 6 p.m., and they never came. And then Wednesday, I just had them cancel it and hold it here at a local access point. Here we are on Thursday, where I finally got it. They got my message, and I picked it up. So we're going to take this bad boy home and start the process of the review. She's gonna help me. She's gonna be on my back in a backpack as I'm riding on the scooter. I'm just kidding. The scooter's gonna help me keep up with her, who can easily go 20 to 30 miles a day with ease. When you have a partially wild coyote with you in the pack, or a Puerto Rican street dog rescue, who's probably more coyote than dog, it's not easy to keep up. We're gonna take care of business. We already did with the e-bike conversion, and now this is the scooter addition to the family. It's like having a new baby, okay? It's a new little baby. We're gonna hopefully see if the baby performs well. If not, we'll return it. See you at home when we do the unboxing. Say bye to Sammy. Sammy's happy. Good girl. Aren't you happy, Sammy? Oh my God, so I just dragged it back into my apartment. Wasn't easy. This thing is super heavy. It's like 80 pounds. I think it said 82 pounds or something. It's in the 80s and it was not easy. How is this so heavy? It's a scooter. How is it heavier than my e-bike? I don't understand. Somebody help me. So anyways, we're happy we finally got this here, and let's get to opening. We also have the steering damper. We might use this also, just in case. I don't know, a lot of bumps in the woods. Maybe there's vibrations. It'll make the handlebars twist around and make me fly off of it. I don't know. The whole goal here is just to be able to walk dogs easier, not go crazy, not break my bones, not do anything stupid, just go chill, and hopefully it can handle the crazy roots, like 4-inch roots out there, and all the crazy rocks and rough terrain I have to battle every day. So why I picked this scooter, it looked like it had a lot of clearance, you know, for shocks and for suspension. So let's get opening. All right, so what's it like to get one of these new electric scooters? Well, this is what it's like. I just converted the mountain bike over there, the other one, to electric, and I'm loving it. And it's helping out so much with the dogs, except the seat is just beating on me. Even the soft seat, I hit so many crazy bumps and jumps, and I stand up a lot. This thing is just gonna help take me miles through the woods with the dogs, I hope. That's my goal with it. It's not to commute through Boston or any of that crap. It's not to ride on the roads with the cars. I'm going to limit the miles per hour to about 10 miles an hour. I don't need it to go any faster. I don't want it to go any faster. Any faster than that in the woods, for me, is like deadly. So, no. I need to stick around for life because I love life and I love everything my life has to offer at the moment, which is that right there. So, we don't want to damage ourselves and not be able to play or record guitar. Alex Metal 78 on YouTube, by the way, if you want to hear my music. All right, let's open this. What do we got? What do we got right off the bat? Oh my God. Alright, it survived shipping. Didn't take too much of a beating. I hope. That might have gotten beat up a little bit. Alright, there she is. There's the beauty show. That's how she came. I'll fold it up. You gotta unfold her. Look at the directions. Is it heavy? Yes. It's heavy. Feels about 70 pounds. And I like how it balances itself up like that. Let's get reading the directions. All right, gave me a nice set of Allen wrenches. That's kind of nice. Considering I kind of need a new one because there are a couple of stripped ones over there. So that's nice that I have a new set. And I assume this is just a charger. Give you the cover for the tire. Let's see what it says. D4+. 4.0 electric scooter. Accessories include owner's manual, stereo damper, charger, multi-tool. Yep, we got all that. Scooter specs, yep. Charging the scooter. Alright, this is what we want. Plug the charger into a power supply. Open the waterproof cover on the charging port. Plug it into the charging port. Red light means the scooter charging. Green means it's fully charged. Cover the charging port once the charger is removed. Note, if the scooter is known to not be fully charged when plugging charger in and the light turns green, the charger is likely faulty. Okay, that's good to know. Battery and charger information. Every Roadrunner scooter is equipped with a dedicated lithium-ion battery and a dedicated smart charger. Please do not use any other charger on battery with the scooter. Of course, do not use your dedicated charger with any other product. Of course not. You're not responsible. Yep, battery. Okay. Scooters can be charged over 600 times, no change in capacity. It's a 58 volt battery. Never leave the scooter unattended while battery is charging. Yeah, that's what I kind of do with this electric e-bike over here. I might charge it when I'm sleeping, but I don't even feel comfortable doing that. So I charge it a lot of the time when I'm awake and alert, just in case. It's like a safety precaution, all right? All right, charger. The smart charger included with the scooter automatically stops charging and the light turns green when your scooter reaches 100%. And just like my e-bike, battery should be fully charged in 9 to 10 hours with a single charger, 4 to 5 hours with 2 chargers. Oh, you can use 2 chargers. That's interesting. I never knew that. The battery will not charge. Please contact us. Battery is damaged to water. So mishandling, it's not covered on the new warranty. All right, 9 to 10 hours. Damn, huh? Here are all the controls. This is what you got for the controls. This is your display. Do they say what to do right when you first get it? You can change the perimeter settings, and there's the operating instructions. I don't know any of this stuff. Gear setting. First gear, second gear, third gear. There's 3 gears? I have no idea. Kickstart mode. I don't know what that is. Brake control. Headlights. Cruise control. Don't need cruise control. Safety instructions. Wear a helmet. 1 person at a time. Yep, all the normal stuff. Avoid potholes. Yeah, no kidding, huh? Maintenance. Battery. Be sure to fully charge your scooter's battery before you first ride. That's what I was looking for. When storing scooter during cold months, store in a climate control. Yep. Just take care of the battery, everybody. Don't keep it out in the hot sun or in a hot car or out in the freezing cold. Keep it indoors when you're not using it. When you're using it, use it, then come back and keep it back indoors. Keep it in an air-conditioned car if it's 150 degrees out or 0 degrees out. Keep it in a heated car. Adjusting the stem height. See, it even says don't keep your scooter in a direct sun. Just like the e-bike. Keep it clean, especially in track and motor areas. Yeah. This thing's going to be nothing but off-road, so. Adjusting the stem, yep, that's nice. Troubleshooting common problems, folding the scooter, yep, it folds up. I'll figure that out by looking at it. Installing steering damper. All right, yeah, we're going to have to do this, but that's later. I'm not worried about that right now. Wow, colored pictures, everything, wow. Crazy, awesome instructions on how to install the damper. How to carry a scooter, yep, just like that. Just like I picked it up. It's heavy, and that's it. All right, so you went through the directions with me. Good job, everybody. Okay, this is the chain to my electric bike that came off yesterday while I was flying through a grass field. I'm gonna fix that today also. And down here, gives you a little warning saying, do not throw the box away. All shipping costs will be your responsibility. Scooter is not shipped in this box. Do not ride until you inflate tires proper PSI. Okay, yeah, we know. We're gonna check all that. So about the do not throw box away, they said to keep the box forever in case you ever have to return it for repairs. Now, who's gonna keep a box that massive and burly around with all these things? I can keep it around for a little while, but not forever. I will keep it for a few months maybe, but I don't want that sitting around my living room. Maybe I'll fold it up and stick it somewhere, but there's just a lot of space to use up for no reason. Hopefully this thing just works and I don't have to return it, or if something's wrong, I can fix it myself since I can fix bikes. All right, just looking at it, how to unfold it. You got this lever here, doesn't do anything, but then this lever, yep, makes the board come up. Wow, look at how high up you are. That's crazy. Do you sink down into it? Yeah, a little bit. All right, well, that's kind of cool. I like it. I like how I'm a little higher up. That's why I got it, because it was so high. You're stepping up 11 inches to get onto it, which I don't really mind at the moment, but we'll see if it's a big pain in the butt over time. See, all the ones I see on the road are just too low, and I know it just by looking at them. They're like 2-3 inches off the ground, maybe, and that's not going to work for me off-road with a pack of dogs. But something like this will probably work for me. How do you unfold these? These just kind of come up. The handlebars, you pull these, and it folds back down. Very easy and quick. See, it snaps in. Got a nice kickstand. Kickstand is handy. Let's use it. Beautiful. Okay. That's what she looks like at the moment. Look at all these big, burly, thick parts. Look at that. Look at the thick metal components. Everything's just burly about this thing. Even the stem, burly. Thick but narrow. Handlebars are straight. Grips are big and burly. Yeah, something's backwards here. I gotta set up some of this stuff. Oh yeah, it's all loose. All right, we'll figure this out. Let's get cracking. So right off the bat, I don't know if this is normal, but just right out of the box, I mean, look at that. The wire and that thing, just like when you turn, it's just kind of like getting kicked around by these big metal pieces. It's kind of getting a little squished and pulled like right there. I don't get that. Is that normal? Yeah, see, it gets kind of caught right there. That's not good. All right, well, I shoved more of it up into that. Maybe that fixed it. Yep, it's clearing it at the moment, but I don't know if that's gonna be a permanent fix. I'm gonna have to shove it up here more. I want that to clear. All right, so just shove the cable up into the steering column a little more, and we're clearing. That's all I want at the moment. I just don't want to be dealing with that. All right, so far so good. I moved things around. I think this is my throttle right here, and then these are the brakes, and then the controls. So I just gotta get used to it and plug it in, tighten things up, check everything, put the little pieces on. It is mighty and burly and huge. Like as big as one of my bikes, or bigger, or more burly. It's like a mini tank, kinda. I'm 5'8", so now I'm 6'7", so I'm up 11 inches. Look, I'm right at my ceiling, almost at the height of the door. Crazy. I always thought I was gonna be this tall, but a bike, it's cool because I get more vantage point. I can see further. If you see animals that are gonna be farther away. All right, I checked the tire PSI. They want you to fill it up to 50 PSI. Max load, it says 187. Hold about 350 pounds or so, but 50 PSI, I checked them. They already filled them. The front one was a little down. It was like in the 40s. Back one was 55. Good job, company. How to adjust the height of the neck here. You undo this, quick release. This is the button right there. Push that button in, and then you can slide it up and down. All right, I kind of set everything up, got everything working, changed it over to miles per hour. Everything's not tightened, it's all kind of loose, but it's on. It's fully charged. It came fully charged, which is nice. That means I can use it today if I want. I don't know if I should charge it since it's already fully charged. I tightened up the steering. Everything's kind of ready to go test ride it at the moment, and then I'll put the cover on the tire and fold it all up. All right, here's a demonstration on eco mode versus turbo mode and one wheel versus two wheels or all-wheel drive. I don't think there's a good demonstration of this on YouTube. I don't know if there is. I didn't find it, but I got it in gear 1. I'm going to pull out the back tire and hit the throttle. And now I'm going to hit the turbo button. It's out at the moment, which means eco mode. So when I push it in, you hear that? See that? Slow, fast, slow, out. Push in, turbo. Push out, eco. Push in, turbo. One-wheel drive, two-wheel drive. The red button, when it's out, it's one-wheel drive, which is the rear wheel, as you've seen. That's the rear wheel. And then when you engage it, both wheels. Front wheel's spinning too. All right, and there you have it. Eco mode versus turbo mode. One wheel versus all wheel. Thank you. All right, it's been a while since I've been on a scooter. Do this right. It's hard to do with one hand, but so far so good. I can go very slow with the throttle, like this, and that's what I'm looking for. It's definitely very powerful. It's very heavy. I'm gonna tighten up everything up here really quick, like this and this and this and this. And then the handlebar, this thing's loose too. And that's it, we're good to go. We'll test it out all day long with the pack. So that's what we're gonna do, put the cover on. All right, girl, chill out for a minute. I tightened up all this stuff so when you push these down, they're not in the way. So that's the only thing you gotta be careful of. If you push the brake down too far, it's hard to fold these handlebars down. Pull that out and this whole thing folds down and there's nothing in the way. You know, brakes might be a little higher than I'd like it, but for now, we're gonna go with that. Everything's fairly tight. All right, I think we're ready to put the dirt guard on, and then that's it. Fold it up, put it in the car, and take it out for a real test. I do gotta fill up the tires and make sure the tires are perfect. I assume they are close, since it's already fully charged, and the tires feel very, very full, but they probably could use a little bit. All right, let's get this mud guard on. It's clearing all the curbs and bumps and all these little small things that I'm going over. No problem at all. Look at how much clearance we got. We got like 9 inches of clearance under there for rocks and roots, which is kind of what I wanted this for. And I like how it's built. I like how it looks like it's ready for rocks and roots, you know? It's not gonna stop short in its tracks. It'll just bounce up or down. So far, so good. It's very, you can go very slow. I can go like the 1 mile an hour I'm looking for. Walking speed with the dogs. Trigger's quite jumpy, but it's pretty good. Jump on it. It's a nice springboard. It's definitely more like surfing than biking, that's for damn sure. Grips have to go. They spin around. Other grips coming on as soon as possible. Then lock. Brakes work great, hydraulic disc brakes, super solid, awesome. All right, so we're ready to take this into the woods. I love the kickstand. How to turn it off, you hold the power button down until it goes off, and then turn the key, pull your key out. You got a key. Time to load her up, put her in the car. How am I gonna transport this thing? Well, I thought it out beforehand since I have a pack of dogs right behind the back seats. It seems to fit there perfectly when it's folded. That's kind of what I was looking for. So let's get it in there. And this is how I keep the scooter in my car. This is how I transport it. In case anybody was wondering, this is why I got it folding up. The only really weak point are the handlebars. There's a little bit of loose play up here, but that's necessary just to be able to have the folding ones. Maybe I can get a better pair of handlebars someday for this and upgrade them, but for now, I do need them to fold so it works, so I can transport it like this and it's not cutting or ripping anything. I might put some protection over here, like a towel or something, so the rubbing of the board itself, the sandpaper doesn't keep rubbing there. That's the only real issue. Maybe I'll put some protective tape on the back side of the seat as well. I'll take care of that a little bit, but this is essentially how I transport it, and it works. It's only about 70 pounds or so, so it's a little awkward getting in and out, but I essentially pull up the tire by the fork handles and then roll it with the back tire, kind of like a two-wheeler, once I get it up, and it feels safe because I've scraped my legs a little bit, and then that's from holding the board up in between my legs, which is not a good idea either. It's better to just use the kickstand instead of trying to hold the board up between your legs because of the weight of it, and the edges of the board are very sharp. Maybe I'll sand them down at some point, but I don't know, or file them down, make them a little softer, put some tape over them. They could use a tiny bit of guard on the edge of the board. I get it so it's not slippery, but for my cases, it's just a little too much. It's very harsh. All right, let's get it out of here. Once I get it this far, I essentially just get it out on the tire and then put it down and carry it away. Put it on the kickstand. When I put the seat forward, there's much more room to just get it in and out where I don't really squeeze too much. It's plenty of room for the handlebars and plenty of room for the back. So I have a few options getting it in. I can make a little more space, pull my seat forward too, and make just enough space where I don't really damage much. But I am gonna tape everything up in there with that protective tape. First impressions, is it gonna work with the pack of dogs? Yes, I think it will. In a place like this with bumps and roots and sticks and logs everywhere. Yes, regular biking trails, nothing's nice. A couple of smooth parts in the main trail, that's about it. What I did with the settings is made sure I reduced the power down to 25 to 30% total power output, and the acceleration is on the slowest. So that means this thing is like weakly powered at the moment. Not touching the voltage, we're leaving that alone, 56 volts or whatever, and everything's good except for the grips. So that's my horn. That sounds like shite. Ugh. I reduced the power setting down to 10%, and it's taking me about 7 miles an hour at the max speed, and that's awesome right now for walking dogs. 7 miles an hour is a nice little quick run when we get excited, so I don't really need it to be much faster than that, to be honest. I really don't. So it's kind of nice that you can do that with the power and limit the max power it receives. I don't mind the accelerators so far. I think I can hang with this thing. I think it's gonna work. And I think the height is gonna serve me well. See all those roots, one in front of her. That one's like 3 inches tall and 4 in some spots. So yeah, very rough trail. So I'm not looking to just stop short anytime soon. All right, puppies, they wanna go to the river. It's like 90. First impressions as the dogs take a dip. Yes, I got here no problem. Went over plenty of roots and rocks, tons of these big roots like that one right there. That thing handles them no problem at all. I'm very impressed, to be honest. I didn't expect it to be so powerful. At the reduced power settings, it got me up a few inclines without any trouble, but it did it very slow because I think I got it at 10% power right now. Just to test out what 10% power is like, I'm probably gonna need like 25% or something for some of the hills. And that's probably it. I'm never really gonna need full power out of this thing because that's not what I'm looking to use it for unless I'm commuting or I need it for like transportation. Extra wheels if you need it. I am very impressed on how well it did get me here. Easier to ride than I thought it would be, even though you're up high. It's very easy to ride, and I think I'll be able to do 3 to 4 hours a day on it easily, you know, and I don't want the bike, that is, but if I had to do it every day for 3 or 4 hours a day, it's not gonna hurt me. Pretty natural standing position. Can raise the handlebars a little bit, which I might do to make it feel even more natural. Yeah, we're psyched. I haven't tightened the front light yet, but for what it is, I love how it has a kickstand so I can just take breaks whenever, wherever, pet my dogs when I need to. Very buggy out here today, so wish I could have filmed some of it coming here, but it's very hard to steer and film at the same time. We're gonna get some really nice footage of this thing. All right, so stay tuned. All right, we just finished and everything's great. It took me through the walk, no problem. Very happy with it. It does well with the ridiculous roots and rocks out here. It's not super easy. You do gotta learn how to balance on it. If you lose the balance, you just jump off. Pretty nice. Messing around with the settings all day long with the power. It's still reading kilometers, not miles per hour for no reason, even though I switched it over. So we got some little minor issues, but we gotta figure out. And it's going to work for me with the dog pack, absolutely. I will be able to walk them and not blow past them all. I can go nice and slow on the eco mode with one tire, single tire setting on eco mode with like 50% power. That's where I'm at right now. It's decent on the acceleration. That's the only real issue. It's very jumpy, so you have to put the settings down very low to get it to accelerate nice and slow and smooth, like you would just from a walking pace. You're not gonna sprint every time you decide to walk, are you? But they're happy, and I'm happy, and that thing's pretty cool. Definitely took a beating today, and that's what I wanted to know, if it could handle it. So it definitely handled it. These trails are not nice. I even went through a big mud pit, you can kind of see. Mud went up 2 to 3 inches, got all over the rotors, and they dried off, and they're clean again, so. Yes, that's how we're gonna be using this thing on a regular basis. Off-road and muddy, nasty trails until it's freezing out, where I'm not gonna enjoy standing on it in the freezing cold weather, and I'm gonna wanna use my regular bike to generate that heat. Otherwise, yeah, pretty nice purchase. I love this thing because it's just like a moving platform. I just get to hang out and love it. The beauty of it is I can just stop and get off anytime I want, just step off of it anytime the dogs stop, and that's awesome. And then when I want, I just step right back on it. Even the platform, it's not really bothering me. It's not really bad to step onto. It feels very natural and easy. And you can jump off anytime that balance gets a little funky or anything happens. You just jump right off. I don't feel like I'm gonna go over the handlebars ever. I never got that sensation yesterday, and I was flying on this thing. And these are very rough trails, as you can kind of see. Nothing but real trees and just rocks and this kind of stuff everywhere. So this thing definitely takes a beating. I'm definitely gonna have to check the bolts regularly to make sure everything's tight for my own safety's sake. So I am loving this thing. I'm loving it. This is awesome, 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 awesome. So these grips are really horrible. Why? Because they spin. You just pull them right off. Look at that. It's horrible. Consider I'm holding on for my life. I don't want the grips moving, so I went and bought these for $30. Locking grips. Yay! The grips that should have came with the scooter. Can't believe they just didn't give proper grips on the scooter. They're trying to profit off of giving you the cheap $10 grips instead of the $30 grips that are much, much safer, okay? When your life is at risk, and your body, it's better to be safe than sorry with these ridiculous grips. You can't even lock these on unless you spray them with something, which is ridiculous. Who wants to do that? Much easier just to twist them off and put on the new grips. Look at that. Ridiculous. Ridiculous. Let's get the bad boys on. And with everything pushed over nice and snug, straight up against that, which doesn't work because we're gonna need a little bit of play to be able to fold down the handlebars. So what am I doing right now? I'm shrinking the left grip for the scooter because it was just a little too long, so I chopped the plastic down and the rubber accordingly, and then filed it with the file a little bit and got it so it fit pretty snug. The collar now fits on it fairly well. It's not the tightest fit in the world, but it works. And what I was looking for was just so it grabs properly. It'll work, and we're gonna put everything back on. Lowering the brake, lowering all this stuff, pointing it more further down to match this side so it stops putting my hand to sleep. And then we're gonna adjust there's a little screw in here. That little screw you can adjust for the wobble. See that wobble? That's what you hear in the video. You hear this the whole time, so if I can adjust that, I'm gonna. So I got everything back on, shortened the left-hand grip. As you can see, it's just about right for me. It's perfect. The side grabs the edge perfectly now, as where it didn't before. Now all I need is my plug that I lost, because it just popped out before because it wasn't fitting perfect. Now it's perfect. Very tight, very snug. Got everything on there perfect, comfortable. The brake's now pointing down at a nice downward angle. Probably 45 degrees. That's what it looks like. I like the 45 degrees because it's just easy to grab. Same with this side. Flattened out the display, leveled it out really, or it's pointed down just a little bit. So when I grab this, my hand's down a little bit now. Instead of being up before, it was like that. Now it's like this, and the brake's right there. Basically, you can grab the brake with your middle finger while you grab the throttle, but you gotta be careful not to pull one for the other, because I've done that a few times. Luckily, it comes with a kill switch when you hit the brake. You can't use the throttle, but sometimes you get a little messed up. Handlebars, I adjusted. I set it where it's no longer very wobbly. There's not a lot of sound. So there's not a lot of play. There's not a lot of sound. So we're happy with that. Very happy. No more clicking as I'm riding, no more play. It feels pretty good. It feels better than it did, that's for sure. A lot better than it did. Left plenty of room on each side to use the handlebars to fold down. Especially this side, that's why I had to take off a little bit of the grip over here, as you can kind of see. But most of it fits pretty well. I did a decent job with the file. Could have done a little better, but I flew through it. Look at this pup. Alright, so took me a couple days to learn how to ride this with one hand, a little easier on smooth surfaces, and it's awesome. Absolutely awesome. You're sick of walking, and never want to walk again, I strongly suggest a off-road powered scooter because it can handle curbs like these and like that, and roots the same size all day long and a little larger. It can handle bumps, it can handle everything. So yeah, it's very, very cool. It's casual. You can go real slow, which is what I wanted to know. You can go 1 mile an hour. Hydraulic disc brakes are awesome. It's really chill. I got the full locking grips on now, so I can hold on better. Maybe that was my problem before, why I couldn't balance well. Very much like surfing. My surf muscles had to kick in, my surf memory, and old skateboarding when I was a teenager, but that was like 3 decades ago. We're talking surfing muscles from a decade ago. What this is very similar to surfing, except you get to control the front. How's it look at night? Pretty good, actually. You get a little bit of wide view right there, down below, low, and then your focused pointer. I get it down low, it's at the park, so I don't blind anybody. Alright, after taking it out on the trail, probably my 5th time on the off-road trails, the bike trails. Yesterday, the trails were super rough, crazy root patches. The steering all of a sudden got very stiff and crunchy and kind of grindy, and I don't know why. Just looking at it, you get these 2 nuts right here, so I loosened them a little bit. Loosened up that one, then I loosened up this one. Already I got it turning back to normal. It's smooth again, so I'm going to tighten them again and hopefully keep it this smooth and easy to turn. It got really like hard to turn and kind of crunchy and grindy, like something was too tight. I don't know why, so it's just gonna be something I'm gonna pay attention to in the future. What I wound up doing with the headset was loosening up the top nut right there, that top nut. I loosened that one, and then I loosened the bottom one a little bit, and then retightened the top one. I could loosen the bottom one until I could feel the play, and it's nice and smooth and just easy to turn. No more stiffness or grinding feeling. I don't know why it got tighter after I used it after 4 rides, but it felt like it just got tighter, so I just needed to loosen it up, and we're good. We're back to normal, so that's good. Definitely walk it over crazy root beds, because I don't know if this is really that good to ride over crazy root beds that go on for like 10 minutes, so. Alright, I'm going to go over the P settings really quick. How you access them is holding down the M button and the power button at the same time. We're in P settings. Okay, how you move through the P settings is with the power button. There's 20 altogether, 20 P settings, but not all of them do anything. And then how to switch the settings is the M button. You just go through the settings. Like P01 is the light display amount, and as you can see, 1, 2, 3, dim, medium, bright. So I'm keeping on the brightest. Okay, PO2. PO2 is range units. You can change them to kilometers per hour or miles per hour very easily. So in America, I'm going to keep it on miles per hour. PO3 is the voltage for the bike. You can set it to anything you want. 24 volts, 36 volts, 48 volts, 52 volts, 60 or 72. The default in the direction says 52, so we're leaving this one at 52 volts. PO4 is automatic display shutoff time, 5 minutes. I'm sure you can go through and change it. I'm going to leave it at 5 minutes. I like 5 minutes because I hop off of it quite a bit and do little things with the dogs and screw around, so it's always going off. I also use it as a seat. It makes a great seat anywhere you are, so it always shuts off when I'm sitting down on it, hanging out, petting the dogs. PO5 doesn't do anything. It has nothing. Nothing to change, doesn't do anything. PO6 is the wheel diameter. This is very important. If you want your kilometers per hour and miles per hour to be on point and your odometer to be kind of accurate, this has to be set correctly. So we got 10-inch tires on here and we get it set at 10 inches. This is the default, so we're going to keep it at that. PO7 is the magnetic hum poles in the motor, and the default says leave it at 30 and do not change. Okay, I don't even know what that is, so I'm not messing with it. I'm leaving where it is. PO8 is the max output of the battery of the whole system. Max output percentage. You have a percentage of the power output. So I put mine at 40% right now, because that's all I really need when I'm walking with the dogs. Oh, it already went back. When you don't touch the screen for 10 seconds, it switches back to mode. So as I was saying, 40% power, because I don't need the 100% power. I'm not going 40 miles an hour on this thing ever, especially with a pack of dogs in the woods. Top speed I'm going to go is maybe 10, 15 miles an hour. I just need the power to get me up the hill, so I figure 40%, maybe 50% is enough to get me up some of the steeper slopes. And so far, so good. It gets me up most of them. I probably could bump it up a tiny bit. This is good for taking off with the eco mode on and with one tire, with single tire mode, not dual. Single tire and eco mode on, and it accelerates very smoothly because you can change the acceleration settings, as you'll see. Okay, so that's setting P8. Power output percentage. Okay, PO9 is your kickstart. I don't use kickstart, so it's on off, but as you can see, it's on. It says now, or N-O-N, non. It's off when it's at 0, and it's on when it's on 1. This is kickstart, meaning once the scooter goes 2 miles an hour, it'll accelerate or kick on or turn on, something like that. I just don't know because I don't use it, so I'm gonna leave it off. P10 doesn't do anything, nothing to change. P11 is the electric EBS brake settings. 1 is the weakest, 5 is the strongest. 0 is off if you don't want them at all. So electronic braking system, I don't really know a lot about it. I'm just leaving mine in the middle at the moment because it's fine. They're great brakes, hydraulic disc brakes, and they work very well. P12 are your acceleration settings. You can go 1 through 5 with your acceleration settings, and they say that people that want a fast acceleration put it on 3, 4, 5, or beginners keep it at 1. I keep mine on 1 because I'm accelerating with dogs a lot, and a lot of them move very slowly, so I walk like 1 mile an hour, so I accelerate as slow as possible. So for me, 1 works the best, and I'm glad they have this feature. It's very important for someone like me where I can change the voltage on accelerating, giving myself a much smoother takeoff. 13 does nothing to change. P14 does nothing to change. P15 is your voltage cutoff. It's on default. I think it says 41. Do not change it. Leave it alone. This is when the whole system just shuts off when the voltage gets that low, protecting the battery. Pretty sure that's what that's all about. You don't want to use the battery when the voltage gets too low, so it's going to protect itself and just completely shut down at 41 volts so you can charge it in the future without any problem. P16's nothing to change. Doesn't work. P17's cruise control. It's either off or on. 1 is on, 0 is off. P18, there's nothing to change. P19, nothing to change. Although you can do that. I don't know what that's all about. Maybe that's a clock or something. And then P20, it says the default is 4. It doesn't even say what it is. It just says the default. And it says not to change it. So I'm not changing it. I don't know what it is. Just leave it at 4. And we're back at 1. And we're good. As long as the wheel diameter, your kilometers per hour and your miles per hour, along with your wheel diameter, are the most important things in this whole list, I think, at the moment, along with acceleration and total power output. So those 4 things you adjust, and then you got this thing going however you want. If you want to, if you're a little older or just slower, you don't want it to rip and kick you forward hard. That's what you do. You set it up well with the settings and good to go. So you might not know it, but this thing makes the best seat on earth. When you're out and about with a pack of dogs and you just want to sit down for a bit, remember, you're 11 inches off the ground. It's 11-inch clearance right there where the deck is. So you got a nice 11-inch squatting platform, and it's wonderful. I'm loving it. We take breaks quite a bit, and I just get to sit down and chill and let my legs rest from all the scooting, from all the balance. It's great. All right, I'm just kidding. Just let you know how awesome this is. Sometimes you get to stop for the dogs and let them cool off when it's like 80, 85, super hot and they're hunting. There's not water anywhere nearby, so you got to stop and just let them cool. And that's why we stop and take breaks, and I get to sit. So yeah, I didn't know this would serve me as a chair. Yeah, very happy about this serving me as a chair. So, for like the 10th time, 15th time today in our 3-hour walk, the Roadrunner D4+4.0, it just keeps shutting off randomly, over and over and over. Turn it back on, ride it for like 5, 10, 20 minutes, it just randomly shuts off. Been doing it all day long. This is the latest problem, and the next problem is that we lost the end cap for the kickstand. That popped right off. That's not good. What else is gonna fall off this thing, and what else doesn't work? So anyways, I'm gonna have to buy a new end cap, 5mm, or go get one somewhere. Home Depot doesn't have them. And yeah, and we're gonna have to figure out this power issue. Okay, so to buy a new kickstand, rubber foot, or to use this old rollerblade brake that I have for a pair of rollerblades that I don't even own. I was never gonna really need this, but I kept it, and it's perfect hard rubber, made for grip. It's 5mm. We're gonna try to make our own. I'm pretty sure I'll be able to just drill the top straight down and maybe shave off some of the sides, or maybe even not, just leave it the way it is for now. But I'm gonna get it on there and then probably glue it on there if I can. Sand it all down, use some glue, and just kick it down, let it sit to cure for a while. So let's get to it. So the first step is I'm just gonna drill out some of that and see how it fits again. All right, I got it drilled out, I got it on properly, but as you can see, it's on the big square side. So what I'm gonna do is just shave it down and make it parallel with that top one, and it should be good. Yeah, that might work. It's definitely parallel with the top, which is what I wanted, so let's see how she works. How's it work? I mean, it works. Might be a little too big, though. This might be a little too much rubber right here. I'm gonna use some Gorilla Glue, get it on there, and let it cure. And it's already sanded. So I got the metal just below the rubber. Might put it a little bit further down, just away from the ground, so the rubber is holding all the weight, but I like having this as low as I can get it, so that's kind of why I'm doing that. It's about the same height as the original boot when it was on there, so we're good. I think I'm good. I'm gonna test it out in the flat kitchen. Here we are a couple hours later. Is it big and clumsy? Sure. Does it work? Sure. All right, so that looks a lot better, I think. I just chopped off all the lips, glued on there very well, and we're good. All right, so just sanded down the edges so it stopped shredding my calves, and if I want to hold it without the kickstand and without my hands, it's only 70 pounds, so it should be very easy to do this without hurting yourself or slashing your calves like I have, so no more of that. Everything's nice and smooth now. Used a little bit of the file and then a little bit of sandpaper. This side was actually almost normal. It was this side that was like a knife. So maybe the sticker was put on a little bit too much to the right hand side, so I definitely had to take care of that. Otherwise, now we're good. All right, the basics of unfolding the scooter, very easy. First thing, push this towards the board. There's a spring in there that pushes back this way, you can feel it. I usually put my foot in front of the front tire, pull back, keep pulling back, put the blue lever all the way in to the neck here, and that kind of locks it. Kickstand down, handlebars up. Here it is. Unfolding the scooter, very simple. Put the kickstand up, do the handlebars, pushing them in, folding them down. Put my foot in front of the tire and pull back a little bit so I can fold this, and then this pushes this way towards the board, and you can fold it, lock it into place. All right, there you have it. Hey everybody, so today we're gonna take a test run. I know I got the good audio today. We're gonna take a test run with the scooter, with the Roadrunner D4+4.0. On the normal trails where I take my dogs every day, and this is the start, this is the trailhead. All right, let's do this. If you're going really slow on eco mode with one wheel, sometimes you get stuck like I do with the dogs, and you have to hit the power button to two wheels, all-wheel drive, and then it can kind of drag you up over it all. But yeah, this thing can handle all of that very easily. All right, we're gonna try this. Hopefully it works. I'm no good at jumps, and I don't want to hurt myself. This right here is about a 15, 20 degree incline. Very rocky, especially over there, very loose grounding. What I've learned with the scooter in the past week of riding it a lot, especially out here for hours every day and all kinds of different types of earth below you, you have to be very aware and observant of what you're riding on. Because when it loosens up, the front tire will dig right in. And if you don't have the damper on, which I don't at the moment or anything like that, it'll just kind of twist the wheels and make the whole thing grind to a halt really quickly. That happened to me right down there yesterday, because that's an AstroTurf field, and there's nothing but crumbled AstroTurf all over the edges of it. So we're gonna get there, and I'm gonna show you why it's not so good to ride on crumbled AstroTurf. So I'm gonna ride it down here and show you what it's like, just using the brakes, the wonderful hydraulic disc brakes that we got. It's an electronic braking system that supposedly recharges, and I have it at level 3 at the moment, which is in the middle. So you can adjust the controls of the braking system from 1 to 5, making them stronger or weaker. So let's go. It's very easy to ride down the hill right here where the rocks are. I just kind of keep it slow. I thought it would be a little awkward to balance on the declines, but it's actually very easy and very natural. My body leans into it very naturally, and it's just very easy as long as you don't go too fast. As you can see, it gets me up the hill, no problem at all. So that would have been a clip I probably cut out because I'm coming back to the camera, but as you can see, I'm probably gonna keep it because it ripped me up this 20-degree incline, and it ripped me up here no problem, but I got it in 2-wheel drive right now, and it's in eco mode still. I'm not even using turbo mode, and I also have it reduced to 40% power output total. With the acceleration on 1, so it doesn't jolt me forward. I put it on 40% power because I don't need speed out here. I just need enough power to get me up and down hills. And the acceleration at level 1 on gear 1 with 40% power, my max speed on the trails, if I just floor it or finger it, so to speak, is about 7-8 miles an hour max, which is great when you're with a pack of dogs like me. I don't want to go much faster than that, and it's safe. I don't have to worry about potentially really hurting myself or killing myself. I can just chill out and have fun balancing and getting over all the rocks and roots and the weird terrain out here, all right? There's roots on the top of the incline here where those wheels and the suspension just help roll right over roots like this that are probably 2 inches higher, so maybe, yeah, 2 inches. You know, those are the annoying roots that you gotta be wary of, that's all. They can be treacherous if you're not paying attention. I know it's a little hard to see, but I'm gonna rip up this 20-degree incline and rip down just to show you what it looks like. So that was pretty cool, wasn't it? I mean, this thing on 40% power takes me up the hill no problem. It's a little slow at the top, but that's perfect. That's what I'm looking for because I want it to be slow for the dogs. They're not running the whole time up hills when it's 90 degrees out and like 80% humidity. So let's just coast back down the hill. It really feels like you're surfing the mountain. It's like you're on a surfboard right now, but you can kind of control it. You gotta be very wary of all those loose rocks. That's why I'm riding on the right now, because those loose rocks are kind of slippery. Better to have nice solid grounding and avoid all the big loose rocks because all the pressure is on a weird narrow point right here. And it's easy just to slide, that's all. As with any biker that has experience, they know that soft sand patches like this one right here aren't really good if you are not aware of them. When you're turning, like this turn right here, it's a 90-degree turn, so if you're flying around this, you're absolutely gonna slide down here because the front tire just does not like going down into the softness anywhere. And right down here is where I fell yesterday. You can still see the mark. So see this mark right here? Hopefully you can see that. And the pile of debris. That's where I went down yesterday because I saw a bunny. The bunny went that way and I was feeling like a wolf or a dog, so I started trying to go a little quicker. Down there and around and just cut in here, and boy did my tire just cut right in there. Look, it cut in like 2-3 inches, made a pile. And what is this stuff? It's a mixture of pebbles, but it's a lot of crumbs of AstroTurf. It's basically rubber. It smells like car tires. And it surrounds the whole outside border of the AstroTurf field. So it's just good to be wary of the materials you're riding on. And when it becomes too soft, be very careful and slow down. That's all. So let's move on. So pretty basic part of the trail here, very normal, kind of flat and smooth, so I can just cruise. And it feels good. Very easy and fun. I'm not going too fast, about 8 miles an hour maximum. So with my finger pressed all the way in, I'm going about 9 miles an hour right now, maximum 10. That's perfect. I don't really want to go much faster than this. It feels very comfortable. It's borderline dangerous going a little quicker than that. Yeehaw. So this part of the trail is like a pine tree root bed. It's nasty. There's a few places to kind of skirt off, but you're gonna have to hit most of it unless you want to go way off trail. You can kind of see they're all pretty big and thick. It's one of the main reasons why I wanted to test the scooter, if it could handle these like 3-4 inch roots like that one. Some of them are just huge, you know. It's just a nasty root garden for a little while, 50 feet or so. So you get to the bottom over here. I've been walking over this for years, stubbing my toes, so I know how rough this stuff is in certain spots. So it's really nice to just have the suspension you need and the type of scooter you need to handle these type of bumps. For root gardens like this, I usually put it on dual motor, both tires. Eco mode, because I don't want it to pull me forward too quickly. So dual motor mode, because you need the front tire to get over a lot of the bumps usually, or else you will stop. Here we go, just straight over all of them. I'll pull up the front a little bit here and there, just to make sure I'll get over it, you know, but they're nasty. So this thing does pretty well for what it is. You know, I'll have to check the bolts a lot and make sure that everything stays tight over time. So yeah, you have to brace for sections like this and try to pick a line that's not super rough. Find the line that's the least crazy. Pull up when you need to. Very easy to pop a wheelie on this thing and just kind of hop up over what you need to when you need to. So what we have at this part of the trail is a lot of loose rocks that just kind of start. Right here's this little intersection, this little Y, fork in the road. And then we get a hill right here. It's about 45 degrees to the top. And it's all loose rocks the whole way. Loose rocks and like sandy dirt. It's just been ground down. It's kind of treacherous. I'm not sure I'm gonna take the scooter up this. I take the scooter down here, no problem. Getting up here, you gotta find the lines that are nice and solid and not so ripped up if you wanna try to ride it up. So it's probably gonna be like a line that goes this way, straight up and then back or over to the solid part of the trail. That might be possible, so I'm gonna try that. If I take the right here, and then cut left, all right, yeah, well. What I'm learning is that you need the power. Oh, Jesus. I'm fine, don't worry about it. But this is why I like demonstrating why you have to be very careful on terrain like this. This is very treacherous, even on a scooter. I think a bike, you have a lot more stability. Scooter, the weight is different. Definitely feels different. The tires are smaller, so they just stop quicker. Handlebars turn quicker. Maybe the damper will help me with this kind of stuff. The damper supposedly helps with wobbling while you're going fast. That's why I'm not using it at the moment. But this kind of stuff is just not safe to ride on unless you're experienced or know what you're doing or take it easy or just get off and walk, which is usually what I do when it gets a little too rough. Usually I don't fall. The first attempt was on gear 1. There's 3 gears, meaning 3 settings for the main speed of the bike. Gear 1, you can go about 10 miles an hour to 20. Gear 2, 20 to 30. Gear 3, 30 to 40, supposedly. It's just the steps in the power. So since I didn't make it on gear 1, I'm gonna put it on gear 2 just to test it. Eco mode, dual motor, 2nd gear. Let's see if she's got enough power now. The problem is this trail is just so rough and loose. Nope. Yeah, we're just kicking debris around. So still no, we're gonna have to try the turbo mode. All right, gear 2, turbo mode, dual motors. Let's see what we're gonna do here. Let's see what we can do. Let's cut over. Let's try to cut over here. Nope, this is just too steep. If I cut over, nope, nope. Let's see what she can do in gear 3. All right, here's gear 3. Let's see how much power you're gonna kick out here. Let's get off the rough. It doesn't like when you lose momentum. If you lose momentum, can't get the momentum back, can't get the torque back. I can't get up here at all, not even on the grass. All right, stay off the bullshit. All right, here we go. Work for me, baby, come on. All right, as you can see, it did it. It wasn't easy for it, but it did it. Oh my God, that was rough. That was probably like the hardest hill I've ever climbed on this thing. I'm definitely not gonna be going up and down this part of the trail on this thing often. I just wanted to show you what it could kind of do and what I couldn't do. And that's front tire loves to dig into the soft soils and gravels, even if I'm kind of keeping my weight back. And it's not easy. It's like surfing, snowboarding. I mean, that wasn't the best, but it'll get you up the hill if you really need it. Just imagine a hill with no gravel that's so steep like that. No problem at all, right? Hopping over the huge stuff, huge roots, just giving it a little bit of help, just so I don't hit them super hard. Going about 9 miles an hour right now, which is kind of dangerous for me, so you gotta avoid all the big stuff, you know. So this incline, while it's the same type of debris, it's a lot less harsh, it's more solid, a lot less steep, a lot wider, and just easier. So I'll show you how this thing takes me up here without a problem. The other hill was just too steep and treacherous with the big root there. As you can see, it's just very easy. It takes me straight up. I put most of my weight on the back tire here while still pushing down on the front tire, and look at this, no problem, 40% power. 5 miles an hour up that hill, easily. When I have a pack of dogs, I'm cooking. That's fast going up a hill, especially for the older dogs. You don't want to make them run up hills. Coming down this hill is just equally as easy and fun. You can just cruise. I'll keep the speed down to a minimum so my front tire doesn't dig in. again. So this type of incline is one of those long, slow inclines that goes for a while, maybe 50 yards or more. The beauty of this thing, on dual motor drive, it gets you up no problem. Single motor, 40%, kinda. It will, but very slow. But that's a good thing for me with dog walking. But I'm gonna keep it on dual motors right now. We're just gonna cruise. See how easily it takes me up? Keep some of the weight on the back tire. I can actually accelerate up here at 7 miles an hour, and it just kind of rips me up here, no problem, very easily. It's very fun when you don't have to go super fast on the trails, because it just feels safe. You can have fun without thinking you're gonna hurt everything or seriously injure yourself like I almost did back there. So I think you get 6 to 7 inches of clearance beneath the deck to go over stuff, like roots and stuff and curbs. It handles curbs very well. 3-4 inch curbs. I'm not gonna push it. I don't wanna bang the bottom of the deck ever. So I'm really cautious with what I go over. But right here is a good example. Pop up a little bit, cleared that no problem at all. And that's a pretty good size root for what I'm dealing with. So if we can handle that size root, we can handle a lot. I mean, take a good look at that. Probably about 4 inches, maybe even 5 inches right there. So if we're hitting 5-inch roots uphill on the incline, it means it can clear a lot of good stuff without hitting the bottom. The bottom is very high off the ground. Here's my hand for comparison. So I get about 2 hand widths of space to clear. That's about it, okay? That's your estimate. Well, here we are in a big grass field. It's not so smooth. It's very lumpy and bumpy, so let's get to it. Let's see how she rides in the nice grass. I know you can still hear me, but very bumpy. Check me out. Watch me go. Go anywhere I want in the grass. I can just go left, right, hit all the bumps. What I'm watching out for here are potholes and big divots, that's all. And I kind of know this field a little bit. I know it's pretty bumpy and lumpy, and I know where the holes are, because the dogs dig lots of holes out here since we bring them out here a lot for fun. You gotta watch out for that stuff, but as you can see, it's pretty cool. I'm going about 8 miles an hour max right now with the throttle punched, 40% power, and it's perfect. When I do this with the dogs at 8 miles an hour or so, they freak out. They think I'm running, because this is kind of like my running speed. That's why I match it, you know. The ground's definitely uneven everywhere, but it's awesome. I mean, this is really fun. You can hit all these lumps and bumps. And the spring suspension does a really nice job. So hopefully you can see me. I think we're like 200 yards away from the camera, right? Right? Let's just test it for a second. Can you see me? Can you see me dancing? I'm dancing for you. I'm dancing for the camera, whoever thought I would dance for YouTube. What I'm showing you is that on gear 1, top speed, straight across the field. A little bit of clicking from the handlebars. Bumpy, but no problem. I can even step it up to gear 2. Go a little quicker. Since it's so bumpy, we're gonna put it back down into 1 and keep it safe and comfy. And you can go very slow with this thing, which is nice. You can go very slow. I can just creep around. If I have dogs with me, I can literally just go the same speed I would walk, very lightly with the trigger. And it's not that annoying to hold for 3 hours straight, but you can just cruise casually, 1 mile an hour, just kind of cruise. Slowly look at stuff. Balance is very easy. So as you can see, it's like surfing the grass. Totally like surfing the grass. I have a surfboard. I never thought it would be like so similar to surfing. So I do love it. I couldn't imagine this thing on a nice big field that's flat. It'd be awesome. With some gear on, you can really have some fun, get some speed. But this is very bumpy and lumpy, and we're loving it. They tell you to avoid potholes, and that's what you want to avoid, because that's like a 4 or 5 inch pothole right there. Even that one's a pretty sharp one at like 3 or 4 inches, and you don't want to hit that stuff. You want to be very aware of the pothole. And there's a bunch of other potholes around. There's a pothole right there. They will grow in. Potholes all over here. Very potholey, so you got to be very careful going through here with potholes. That's why I don't go fast, because speed and potholes don't really mix, okay? So let's just take a nice look at this baby right here. She's beautiful, isn't she? She does the job. She can take you over all those powerful rocks, roots, all that stuff. She's taking you right over all of it, no problem. My only concern is that loose bolts over time, because she'd get such a beating. So I'm gonna be checking the bolts and making sure we never have any problems with the bolts. Keep everything tight and well maintained. And I enjoy doing that stuff since I like building bikes and all that good stuff and working on them. So I'll probably do as much as I can on my own with this thing. I don't think I'm gonna need to service it. I'll maybe order some new parts if I have to and put them on myself, but I'm pretty sure I could strip this thing down if I had to completely and then just rebuild it just to know how it all really works. And I might do that in the future, so who knows? If I'm really bored, I'll do that. Little jumps like this, I usually slow down because it's very jagged right here. And there's just big weird rocks here. There's only one smooth line, but it's just like that jagged rock right there and huge rocks. I just take it easy. Usually I'll get off and just go slow. I don't try to jump stuff like that, but there's just treacherous stuff everywhere out here. And that's what this scooter's really good at handling so far. So this is a basic bike trail. I'm just gonna run through the bike trail a little bit just to show you what it's like going on the bike trail. It's actually pretty cool. It's not an easy trail, but you can still manage. fairly easily. Now, is it a bit challenging to go on these narrow bike trails that are on peaks? Yes, but it's fun. You don't have to go fast. You can go just slow enough to just make it through, get over all the little bumps. It's awesome. Gotta be careful, don't go too fast on these trails because they're rocky, narrow, hilly. But this is the exciting part, you know, these trails are pretty cool. All right. Oh, and we're out of the hell. Back on the normal trail. Normal trails, this thing shines. Shines really bright. Bridges, no problem at all. Let's hit it. This is where I can just relax again, you know, and just hang out, hit the bridge easily. I'll pop up the front a little bit here because it's like a lip, a little rotten. Make sure it's on two-wheel drive and go over the bridge accordingly. Pretty cool, man. I'm loving it. It's nice and cool when you're going quick. So this trail is very nice. It's very wide. It's very easy. It's very chill. I can just relax. These are the nice trails that I like walking my dogs on. Kind of why I got the scooter, because you're not on the worst stuff all the time. You're on normal trails most of the time that are just different types of terrain and little routes like that. And this thing can handle them. Little rocks everywhere, little patches that are rough, but then back to pretty flat. And then some hills, like I showed. So I think this thing can handle the woods on semi-rough trails, as long as you're not on a mountain. I'm not on a mountain here. The hills are like old hills that are probably built back in the 1800s or so for farms or whatnot. And yeah, we're just cruising right along here. These trails are so flat and smooth and easy that I can go back to using single motor mode, which is the button on the right, instead of dual, just single, because the acceleration is a lot nicer and more gentle when you're doing one motor instead of both. And the speed, it's easier to keep a nice gentle speed like this, like a walking speed, dog walking speed. As you can see, the flies all over me right now. And I got my bug net on. I wouldn't do this without the bug net, trust me. I've been through this a million times. These are most of the trails we're working with. Here comes a patch of rocks. See if I can do this with one hand. Probably not. I'm not gonna chance it. It's just too dangerous. And when that deck hits your leg or shin, it hurts because it's 70 pounds or more going right into your shin. I've done that many times, so it's not fun. This is the gist of what I'm working with. Single motor mode. Might get slow through the loose sections, but 6 miles an hour, nice and chill. You know, it's just chill. I got it pinned. Let's hit some bumps for it. There's 2 rocks right here that I want to nail for you. And this is very rocky and rooty, as you can hear in my voice. That's gravel, heavy gravel right there. Treacherous, I tell you. It's good to be careful on the gravel. Dual motor mode when you're doing with bumps, jumps, going uphill, lots of bumps. It's like all-wheel drive. You absolutely need the all-wheel drive. And gravel also, but let's see. There's this big rock right here, ready? Yeah, popping up the front. More popping up, ready? Almost. I almost got air there. So there's a trail that goes through here. I'm gonna ride over it. Dual motor mode, absolutely, for this section. Let's see how she does. I don't think I've done this one yet. It's a pretty cool bike trail that goes up. Pretty steep little incline right here. Gets me up that, no problem. Roots, rocks, another incline. Oh yeah, now we're at the very top. Yeah, nice narrow trail, 25 feet high or so. Gonna go kind of slow, use my brakes, not fly off the trail. And then here I am. Woohoo! Look at this root right there. Pop that wheelie, pop a wheelie. Yeehaw, all right. Hopefully that looks kind of cool. You can kind of see where I went. I think that's it, I think we're done. Hopefully we filmed enough today in the beautiful bike trails here in the woods. Showed this thing off, showed what it can do, what it can't do. Showed how I do on it, how I kind of fell and took a little bit of a hit, but that's okay. That's what these padded gloves are for. They're great, by the way. Gotta know. Something like that. Air Gel Ultra, lots of thick padding, so it comes in handy if you ever take spills. I'm loving this thing. It's gonna do what I need out here for walking the dogs on these trails most of the year, for hours a day. I'm not gonna use it every day, but on those days where I wanna use it, I'll use it. And it can handle it, and I don't have to worry about it. I got everything down, I know how to transport it, I know how to maintain it. I could probably completely disassemble and reassemble it, but maybe that'll be in another video, just for fun, just so I know how it works. Thanks for watching if you got this far. I appreciate it. Like and sub if you're into this kind of a thing and wanna follow along. I'll probably make another video about this in the future, but I've had it for now a solid week or so of hard riding on it every day, testing it out here and all this craziness, and so far so good. Maybe we'll hit a curb for you at the end. Probably about a 4-inch curb right there. Look at how much space you got above it. Probably another 5 inches. Yeah, you got like 9 inches at least, maybe a little more. Plenty to clear curbs though. You can kind of clear most of the curbs, even in the back there, see? Even the very back, plenty of room. You got a couple inches to truly clear it. And if anything hits, hopefully it'll just be your suspension arm there. Why I like this thing, because you can get over most stuff. So far so good. I don't think I'm hitting much. I don't want to hit the bottom at all, so I'm very aware of what I'm going over. It's good to just know your limits with this thing. All right, so let's hit the curb a little bit, and then we'll finish the video. You kind of pop curbs all day, pop up the front, give it some acceleration. I usually have it in dual motor mode for this, because I want the front tire to pull. Single tire mode, it still works. Eco mode, because the back tire kicks you right over it. So it's fairly straightforward how to ride it and hit your curbs if you want. The front tire got stuck because I didn't have it in dual motor mode. Now it's in dual motor mode. Even on Eco, I can get out of it. So that was a pothole, okay? Why it got stuck right there, because there's a little pothole right there. The pothole is what they say to avoid, because they'll stop you short. You'll fly forward or hurt yourself or fly off the handlebars. It has been shutting off on me here and there. Some days it's a lot, other days it's not a lot. Some days it's only a few times, like once. Other days it's like 5 times, other days it's like 10. So I don't really understand why it's shutting off like that. It is 90 degrees out, so it could be just getting kind of hot. I'm not sure. With the type of trails I ride on too, it's a lot of crap. But sometimes I'm just chilling, cruising down the trail on nothing, flat trail, easily, not even going fast, and it'll shut off. So I'm still curious as to why. The last thing I did was put a little zip tie right here away from this thing so I can still use it, and keep the wire away from my waist when I'm riding, because it's always kind of in the way. It was sticking out like 2 or 3 inches before, and because it's for if you want to lift up the handlebars if you're taller. I'm not. It's gonna sit where it's gonna sit. If someone else wants to ride it, one of my friends, I can just snap that and lift up the handlebars very easily. Appreciate you watching the video. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.